Hello and welcome to the Clockwork 42 channel. My name is Benjamin. This is my top 10 action figure list of 2020. 2020 was an awesome year for action figures. Several companies across the board really delivered. It was a bit hard to choose. The hardest one to remove from the top 10 for me was Warpath. It's a really great figure. But in the end, I had to ask myself, was I completely happy right out of the box? All of these are great figures in their own right. I'm not knocking anything. I'm happy to have them in my collection. But when it comes to the top 10, they didn't make the cut. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, before I get started, real quick, I just want to say that if an action figure is on your top 10 list, you shouldn't have anything negative to say about it. I mean, if you do, why is it on the list? So, as I do my countdown, I'm only going to have positive things to say about each of these figures. That being said, here we go. Starting with number 10, McFarlane Toys, Raw 10, Frenzy. This is just a perfect action figure for what it is. I didn't know I needed a cyborg shark in my collection until I saw this. The sculpt, the paint, everything just flows. The articulation, I just think it's perfect. It moves like you think it would move. And that's why it makes my top 10 list. And these are still readily available in stores. And I'm looking to add a couple more to my collection because I like it that much. Next up at number 9, the Mythic Legions Kurzog figure. I don't want to keep repeating myself saying paint and sculpt, but they nailed it. A great figure to have in the collection. It's a very strong presence on the shelf. Really stands above the rest. Very good piece. In the number 8 position, NECA King Kong. And I'll tell you, Donkey Kong ain't got nothing on this guy. This is a pretty cool piece. I wanted it just to have a gorilla, but that face, I can't help but love that. That cracks me up every time. It's a fun, different piece to have on the collection. You'll see as I continue down the list, I buy a lot of different figures. I like to sample different lines, cherry pick, and yeah, this is another good one. Well detailed, alternate head, hands, and I gotta do reviews on these things because I am so far behind. Holidays. Let's move on. For my number 7 pick, Jazzwares Fortnite Legendary Collection Fish Stick. Just a completely goofy line of well articulated action figures with a lot of accessories. They come in all shapes and sizes, but Fish Stick is my favorite. I actually do play the game from time to time, and that's the skin I use. The more ridiculous you look, the more intimidating you are. Welcome to Fortnite. A lot of fun with these. I think my Fortnite collection is building faster than my G.I. Joe collection. Much faster. Number 6. This was completely unexpected. I was not looking for this figure. I didn't see any reviews on this figure. I just happened to see it in GameStop on clearance. It's like, I'll give it a shot. And it is my number 6 of my top 10 picks for 2020. McFarlane Toys Fortnite Night Hare. I think this is an example of McFarlane Toys doing everything right. I love everything about this figure. Just the way it flows. Oh, let me point out one thing that you never hear anyone say about McFarlane Toys. They never complain about the sculpt or the paint. Just saying. Coming in for the halftime show, Soul Hornet. This comes from Kotobukiya, their Megami Device model kit line. All assembly required. Once you put it together, they are badass little action figures. Anime stylized with a lot of modular components. I've already built like 5 of these. I love them. Like I really went all in on this line. Some people may not like that you gotta put it together. If you have the patience to do it, I say do it. You won't be disappointed. And down to the final 4, we have Medicom Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman. This is absolutely my Batman. The gray and black, fat bat symbol, short ears. His buff physique, digging the pleated cape. There's just too much to not love. I mean, how could you be disappointed with this? I'm having a lot of fun with it. If I didn't have the following 3 figures in my collection, he'd probably be the number 1. Absolutely. In number 3, we have Storm Collectibles Lobo. Now, this is my all-time favorite comic book character. So happy to finally have him in action figure form. Like all the people out there that like Superman or Spider-Man or Wolverine, you have 1,000 figures to choose from. That's Lobo, guys. This is the one for me. Like I know there was that CNC from the DC Multiverse line. It looked kind of meh, so I didn't even bother trying to get it. I'm kind of picky at times because I just appreciate good action figures. And that being said, even though he's my number 1 favorite character, this is an action figure top 10 list. Boom. My number 2 and number 1 action figure picks for 2020. The Storm Collectibles Golden Axe, Axe Battler, and Skeletons. How can 6 figures be the top 2 picks of 2020? Because they come in 2 packs. I couldn't really consider one without the other because it all comes as one set. So some people might see the dragon as a figure on its own because it has articulation, and I wouldn't argue with that, but it comes in a single package with the figure, so to me, it counts as one. And to sum it up, with this whole line from, or the whole Golden Axe line from Storm Collectibles is, they didn't have to, but they did. They didn't have to include a rideable dragon. They didn't have to articulate that dragon. They didn't have to make the skeletons 2 packs. Like I know we would have bought them singles, just as many, but they did. And that's why, like no one else in the lineup of my top 10 delivered the way Storm delivered with these action figures. Not just the nostalgia from having played the game back in the day, feeding it quarters all afternoon, but I have this vague memory of playing with the action figure line that was similar to Axe Battler on the Dragon. But this, I mean, come on. Say hello to my little friends and their dragon and Axe Battler. These guys are super compatible with so many accessories, skeletons, like your Halloween display, horror display, goth display. Axe Battler just looks amazing up on that dragon. Just perfect physique. You just want to play with them all day. And the best part about being an adult is you can. I know my list is going to rub some people the wrong way, but again, I was looking at the total package, the complete presentation of the figures. Was everything in the package useful and fun? You know, did it wow me? Did it impress me? All of these did, and like above and beyond. If you missed out on these, I say sit tight. I mean, we're already seeing reuse. Wow, like, come on. How much fun is that? It's just a human skeleton, but it's amazing. So much fun. Thanks for tuning in, checking out. This has been my top 10. Don't forget about me. Frenzy was just too fat for the group photo here. And once again, so many great figures in 2020. The silver lining for a lot of us. Let me know what you think should or should not have been on this list. I know I'm asking for a lot of salt, especially after putting Frenzy in and not Spawn. But you know what they say. It's my list. And I had fun doing this. And I realize I am so far behind on reviews. But it's a lot to look forward to. I will see you next time.